Did you know that the way you sit can cause you to have a more challenging birth? If you stay tuned, I'm going to show you the best way to sit so that you can have a much easier birth. Hi everyone, Lynn Schulte here, your birth recovery expert at Intuitive Hands Physical Therapy in Denver and Boulder, Colorado. And today we're going to be talking about sitting and how your sitting can be detrimental to your birth process and how to fix that so that you can have an easier birth. And let me share something with you. I bet a lot of you recognize this kind of sitting posture, right? Well, there's two things that are wrong with sitting like this, and we sit like this a lot. The first thing is that this is the pelvis. This is what the baby needs to go through in order to get out. And the sacrum here in the back, this triangular bone, needs to go forward to increase this opening here to get the baby into the pelvis, but then it needs to come backwards to increase this distance here. And so a lot of us, when we're sitting slouched like that, we're sitting with all this pressure right here on that lower sacrum tailbone area, and that's pushing it forward. So it's decreasing this outlet here, and that means that the pelvis and the baby have to work extra hard to open this up because we spend too much time pushing it forward. And also, if we're doing a lot of Kegels too, Kegel, 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 that's going to decrease and tighten this opening. So we don't want to be doing a lot of Kegels, and we also want to stay off of our tailbone and sacrum when we're sitting. And so what we want to do is actually sit on these sit bones here. Do you see these? These are actually your ischiums, and this is where we want all of our weight bearing when we're sitting. So when you're sitting upright here, in this position, I'm now on my sit bones here. But if I slouch and roll backwards, now all this pressure is sitting right here on the sacrum and tailbone. And we don't want that. You've got to stay off of your tailbone when you're sitting. And so if you're sitting in one of these chairs where it's really long here, it's hard to get your butt back far enough into the chair, because that will help keep you more on your sit bones than on your sacrum. And so if you're having that problem, make sure that you get pillows and put pillows behind you to keep you at 90 degrees here. And don't let your hips roll forward so that you're sitting on your tailbone and your sacrum, especially on the couch. Watch the couch, watch the way you're driving. These are all tendencies for us to increase pressure on that sacrum and push it forward. And that's not what we want for birth. Now, another thing that we need to avoid this positioning is if we're spending a lot of time, especially if you put your feet up, right? What ends up happening is that the baby, when the baby's in your belly, we ideally want the baby to be forward, to be facing your spine. But if you spend a lot of time in that reclined position, the baby's going to be back to back, meaning the baby's back is near your back, and that's going to present an OP baby, an occiput posterior baby. And that means the bigger part of the baby's head is coming through your pelvis, and it's not ideal for birth. So you want to avoid this posturing, because the baby will, instead of being in this ideal posture, will slide down and go back to back, and we really don't want that. So avoid this slouch position. Make sure that when you're sitting upright. Even leaning forward would be ideal so that that baby can get its back towards your belly, toward the front. That's where we want it. So watch the way you're sitting so that you can have an easier birth. Stay off your sacrum, sit on your sits bones. That's why we call it them. And avoid sitting as much as you can, actually. Moving around and squatting and doing things other than sitting are more optimal for helping your pelvis to be more mobile for birth as well. So watch how you sit, guys. Good luck. Take care.